Full disclosure, the voice you are listening to now is artificially generated, brought to you by satisphonic.com. See the link in the description for more details. How did you waste your 20s? Serious. Multiple disabilities. Most of them went away when I found out at age 32 that I was iron deficient. Depression. Spent 7 years of college in my dorm apartment reading books and taking naps. Instead of regular 4 years of studies, I'm in my 8th now, and still not done. My depression made life so long and slow at the same time. No ambition, lack of foresight, no goals. I spent so much time stressing out about my future that I never actually lived in the present. For me, it was too much ambition early on in life, and then by the time my 20s came around, I became very disillusioned. Felt like life was mundane and nothing brought joy to me anymore, so I hardly did anything. Literally wasted a bunch of time doing nothing. You're not alone. I was full of ambition in first year, and now I'm a shell of my former self. The same here. Add in alcohol and pot and life went nowhere for a very long time. I always thought I was already too old. Whoa. I remember saying I'm old when I was 23. Now I'm in my 30s and I cringe thinking what an idiot I was. However, now I realize I'll be saying the same shit about my 30s in my 40s, so it gives me perspective to enjoy myself now. Many people here on Reddit would concur that 30s is still young too. Today is the youngest you'll ever be again, so enjoy it. Yep, 30s is still young. Zeroing in on 50, and I think, shit, I turned 30 a week ago, didn't I? I feel better now than in my 20s and 30s, and would love to just soak up time like I used to, but it goes so damn fast now. What is up with that? After I turned 30, someone put my life on toque speed. I swear honestly, if we're having a rubbish summer or it rains all Christmas, I feel like, oh well, there'll be another one along soon. I remember being 10 and Christmas felt like it took 3 years to come again. Now I'm coming up on 33. It's nearly mid-August, but I swear we just had Christmas like 6 weeks ago. Time is so odd as you get older. I'm 24 and struggling with this right now. Logically, I know I'm not too old, but society has a weird way of making me feel like I'm just because I'm getting closer to 30. That shit is crazy. It really depends on where you live. 24 in a small Midwestern town, people start asking when you're gonna get married and have kids. 24 in Brooklyn, people look at you like you're fucking nuts if you're even thinking about marriage. So maybe consider moving if you can. If it gives you some motivation, I'd basically consider 23, 24 as the actual start of my 20s, as someone who just turned 30. I moved to Nye at 22. I quit my career job at 23. I traveled for 80 months at 24. I work odd jobs out of curiosity, 25, 26. I went back and did my master's at 27 and 20. Job in a career I truly love at 30. That's actually kind of inspiring. I'm 26, and I've been way too scared of making mistakes and dumb decisions that it's kind of been paralyzing me to be in the exact same job and social position throughout my 20s. I feel like I need to make mistakes to grow at this point. Oh, hun, the 30s are the best time. The best. 40s are pretty great too. Much better than the 20s. You're never too old. Gen's acting ridiculous toward age, as if 30-yo is being geriatric. It wasn't nearly as bad for us millennials. I know my 17-year style acts like I'm a crypt keeper since I turned 25. Your skin is really good for 25. I can't even see any wrinkles. You'll have to share your skincare routine when I get old like girl, I'm 25. I'm being too shy. To anyone younger reading this, take risks. Ask that person out. Go to that local event you've been eyeing. Strike up a conversation with a cool-looking stranger. Get up on stage at a karaoke night. Volunteer. Join a club. Life is not a movie, and there is no magical special person that will notice you and come pull you into the light. You have to do that yourself. I know my 17-year style acts like I'm a crypt keeper since I turned 25. Your skin is really good for 25. I can't even see any wrinkles. You'll have to share your skincare routine when I get old like girl, I'm 25. Too scared of my parents to stand up to them and live life how I want. Same, I'm turning 26 next month and I don't know if can even make up for last year's I wasted. 40-year-old, you will die laughing thinking about this comment. You have tons of time. The only mistake is assuming that being mid-20s with somehow unfixable. Everyone makes some mistakes. While young, the difference is often who is honest with themselves and follows through with a plan to improve a change. Just start taking steps and you'll be moving just fine. I've dealt with feeling paralyzed by a situation, and you hover and it sucks, but you will feel good when the journey starts, not just when it ends. Samsi's recovering drug addict and alcoholic here, and not just a little tiny bit. Full tilt, hardcore into the lifestyle for my entire life from age 15 to 29. Cold turkey recovery, cold turkey recovery, cold turkey recovery. Greatest thing that ever happened to me. I tell my son every single day he saved my life. He's an angel walking the dust of earth. Just turned 40 last month. Have an awesome and terribly funny husband who loves me for all that I am and all that I am not, and knows the darkness of my past and all I have overcome. We built a beautiful brand new home in the country. I actually have worked myself into a delightful STEM teaching position, and we just had another baby last year. Asked me what my life would have been like at 24. My answer would have been dead by 40. A thoughtful saying to leave all those youngsters out there. A speck of gratitude leaves mountains of room for optimism. Stay positive. Your comment gives me hope, thank you. My dad said something to me when I was in my 20s, when I was complaining about having a shitty job and saying, if I went back to school, I wouldn't be done until I was in my 30s. He said, you're gonna be in your 30s. He said, you're gonna be in your 30s regardless. It might as well be as someone you can be proud of. The best time to start doing something to better your life might have been 10 years ago, but tomorrow is 10 years ago from some other time in your life. You got this? I pursued a career in a field that wasn't right for me. Did you find one you liked, or at least tolerate? Yes, I was very fortunate to find a job in the field I wanted to be in, but still utilizing the skills I'd acquired up to that point. I'm currently a paralegal at an arts non-profit. I managed a similar transition. Wasted 7 years working in kitchens, moved into game development, and quickly found that a lot of the multitasking, time management, prioritization, and delegation skills I'd learned in kitchens transferred over extremely well. Thing about your 20s is no matter how you spent it, you'll wonder about the other path. Party, get wasted, spend everything you earn, traveling the world. You'll wish you'd been more studious and built better foundations. Study hard, work diligently, build good foundations. You'll wish you'd partied and had more fun like the others did. People always say that with hard work you can become anything you want, but they forget to mention you cannot become everything you want. You can only do one thing at a time, and that's so frustrating. I was feeling pretty depressed about my 20s until I read this post. I've realized no matter which path people choose, they're wondering about the other path. I have done 8 years of university, and so that's a good portion of my 20s. I wanted to travel all over the world and have a different life. Then I see so many posts here, people saying they regret that too. It sucks to know that it's either one or the other. It doesn't have to be if you're born into the right environment with the right predisposition. It's a whole lot of stars that have to align, and I've known people who it works for. I, however, am not one of those people. Depression is a bitch. I have vague memories of my childhood. I have good memories of the past couple of years. I don't remember a thing of the years between 1820, 1925. I just sat at home, played some games, eat, sleep, and just existed without anything significant happening at all. Edit, since a lot of you are asking how I came out of it, I'd like to shamelessly copy-paste a comment I wrote earlier. So here's my advice. Pick something you want to do and go do it. You're probably already at one of your lowest point in your life. It's not like it'll get much worse. Want to learn the piano? Why not at least? It'll be good distraction for a while. Want to do sports? Sure. At worst, your physical condition will improve. Want to travel? Grab a backpack and go somewhere. Want to punch a shark in the face? Where the nearest ocean at? Who knows, maybe by the end of your little bucket list, you'll learn to love life again. Or maybe not, but at least you can tell people you've punched a shark, which is kinda coolingle. For me, personally, I always wanted to learn cooking. Taught myself how to cook, then did some volunteering work cooking for elderly people. Opportunities came, and stuff happened, and right now I'm working full-time as a chef, about to start school again to get my diplomas, and I'm doing great. You never know what might happen along the way, but nothing will start if you don't do something, no matter how small it might be. Edit 2. It has come to my attention that punching sharks is a big no, and I profusely apologize. Dolphins, barracudas, and triggerfish are okay apparently, so punch away. Was heavily abused as a kid growing up. At 17, my mum punched me so hard in the face, I had to get up off the floor. I walked out of the house then and didn't go back. A week after I turned 18, I had my first kid. 2 months later, he died of SIDS. I quit caring about life and went hard in the drugs the first half of my 20s. Second half, I spent trying to get my life together and then got divorced. 30s were okay. Working on my 40s now and will be 42 later this year. Edit. I'm currently at work and unable to respond to everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for all the kind words and other people sharing their story. You are all very awesome and kind, and I appreciate all of you. Good on you. You're only gonna continue to flourish as you keep building. Didn't really have a game plan for making a living and waited too long to figure one out. Also was too caught up in my feelings to act on a lot of good dating options I didn't realize I had, which would have been fun. Things worked out great anyways, but still. I did a PhD. The first time I made more than $30 in a year, I was 31 years old. Fuck academia. Academia nuts. I can't disagree with you. My 2 master's degrees have been pretty much worthless, except they gave me something to do during my 20s, which were years 13 of my 20 years in prison. So now I'm qualified to teach literature, but I don't think even a community college would hire me. Upside is that I found my wife while I was locked up, and we've been married 28 years. Do you mind I ask what type of degree you got, and what type of job you have? I'm 19, and my only life plan is to get a PhD, and I'm afraid of it. My fee is in the life sciences, and I got it at a top 50 ranked university in the world. I trained in genomics, and focus area of my thesis was in adaptive immunology. I'm now a staff scientist at a major cancer research center. If any of that sounds interesting to you, PM me and we can talk more if you like. In 28 and I've done nothing. No trips, haven't seen any music live, never go out. All I do is work and sleep. Like today, for example, all I did was work and now I'm going to sleep soon, so I can do the same thing tomorrow. Honestly, I hate life. I've had a total of 6 days vacation since I turned 20. I got a zoo pass 2 years ago, and that's the highlight of my 20s so far. Looks like you know how to cook a great meal though. I hope you find a partner to share those meals with. And I hope you've been able to save up money from working so much and can find more ways to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Fighting endless wars, Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and everywhere else around the world. Wasted my 20s, all my 30s, and half my 40s and half my 40s fighting. For what you ask, I have no idea now. I spent the entirety gripped by an eating disorder, obsessed with food, weight, in and out of hospital, harming organs, teeth, mental health. Such a waste of a prime decade. Wish I could turn back time. Drinking heavily. Will never get those years back. Thankfully, I realized while I couldn't go back and change the start, I could decide to change the ending. 10 years sober this month. My goodness, this blew up. To anyone else struggling or in recovery, there is help. There are people who will help. The thing that dawned on me is that I was despairing for the future because I thought it would always suck. But my drinking was also making it suck. I decided I had no right blaming the world for a terrible future if I also contributed to make the future terrible. So I decided to do everything I could to make it good. And then when it still was terrible, then I could hate the world. Funnily enough, the future got better and I didn't need to have to blame the world or myself. Being sad about a failed relationship career. By getting fat and then getting so depressed by that I effectively cut myself out of everyone's lives cause I was too embarrassed to be seen by old flames, friends or people who knew me a certain way. Do not recommend. Being scared of people and letting people take advantage of me. People would borrow what little money I had with and without permission and never pay me back. I think without permission is called stealing. In my room, alone and depressed. Greatest years, my ass. I remember looking at the passenger seat in my car and realizing no one had been in my car for at least 6 months. Spent too much time watching movies and hanging out with myself alone. Spent too much time and money on alcohol in my late 20s. Oh, and watching way too much porn. Far too much time spent on my career and not nearly enough on friends and family. Can't say it wasn't financially rewarding, but I'd give that all up for more time with friends and family who have since died. Your 20s are about finding out who you are. Nothing is wasted. I used to think time playing video games was wasted. But when I quit for a while, I missed my friends and I missed my instant stress outlet. I used to think I wasted money, but I had a hell of a good time. I used to think I got a late start in my career from fumbling around. But I got a new career at 35 that owed in part to my varied background, and I've been progressing through for over a decade. In short, none is wasted. Live every day like it is an opportunity. Drank nearly every day, certainly every day I could. Not quite out of my 20s yet, but I decided it would be better to get experience with real people doing real jobs than go to college. Realized I am in no way above a hard day's work or menial labor, but I am fing bad at it. Now I realize how dumb I was, and college wasn't just something to do. It was my way out of being unskilled, replaceable meat until I'm old and broken. I'm currently wasting my 20s by replying to this post. Drugs and pussy. Could have been worse.